In today's episode, we have the Ghana stock market. Everything is up. Literally everything is up. Looking at the Ghana Stock Exchange market report for August 2025, we have the composite index. It's up 39%, and this is as of the end of August. In September, over the past 2 to 3 weeks, we've seen the stock market increasing further to, I think it's now around 46%. When we even take a look at the Cedi fund portfolio, we can see that it's up 20.97% since I started this channel about 3 months ago. And during that same time, the composite index is up 22.6%. So literally everything is up. Again, let's look at these graphs for further clarity. Since year on year, if you compare from August 2024 to now, market capitalization all-time highs, meaning the companies are growing. Their value are steadily increasing and increasing and increasing. The same for the composite index, for the financial index as well, all on an upward trend. You might ask me, why am I bringing up this point? It is for 2 reasons. First of all, to congratulate you, because I'm sure your portfolios are looking very good this particular year. But secondly, to also bring some form of caution, some form of cautious optimism into the market. Now, seeing your portfolios at all-time highs is very, very good to see. But sometimes as investors, we get too attached to the excitement. At the end of the day, I always try to, tone it down a little bit and try to reassess my portfolio, because everyone looks like a genius in a bullish market, including myself. Literally, if you look at the chart here, we can see the return of all the companies on the Ghana stock market at the end of August 2024. We can see Access is up 214%. We have BOPP up 35%, Cowbank 45%, Glidestone 266%. All of these, I'm not going to list all of them. You can go through. MTN is up about 54% at the end of August, September not included. Total 33%, SIC 288%, Total 143%. So basically what I'm trying to say is, most likely, regardless of what stocks you bought this year, the end result is most likely you're going to make money. Like, I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. If you bought the best stock or the worst stock, you did the best of research, you did not do any research, you had some market insight or market information, you didn't have any information, the most likely end result at the end of August is that you made money on the Ghana stock market, and that's always good news. But sometimes it makes we seem like we are geniuses and that everything we do is good. You get it? That's the nature of the bullish market. I mean, if everything you invested in is going up, the likely thing for you to assume is that you are doing the right thing. Like, everything you're invested in is the greatest investment and everything. So at the end of the day, I always like to tell people or advise people that yes, it's very good. A company like MTN, which is in my Cedi fund portfolio, up 54%. But at the end of the day, this is money that I personally have not sold. So if I've not sold it, it's not liquid cash. We've all heard the saying, cash is king. And it's true. Until you sell these investments, it's just paper money. This is money that can also come down. So as much as you might look like a genius during this period, I think this is the best time to, really assess your investments, to see if the companies you are invested in are the actual companies you want to be invested in, if those companies are what you actually want to own, and if they fit your investment strategy. For me, like this, my investment strategy is to buy high quality companies that are growing very, very fast and giving return back to shareholders. And these are companies that I'm going to be owning for the next 5 to 10 to even 20-year period. I don't think equities are a form of investment for short term. So if you are planning to invest for the next 1 to 2 years, I'll probably say equities is not the best thing, because like I said earlier, it can be very volatile. This month the company is doing well, next month who knows. So if you're a short-term investor, I would rather say the best options would be fixed income investments such as treasury bills, fixed deposits. And even if you have a lot of money on hand, you can even talk with the banks for some form of repo arrangements, especially during this low interest rate environment. And one thing that I'll even add to this is that when it comes to equity investment, a lot of people don't like to put in that research. So I would say, if you don't have time to research the companies, actually know what these companies you're investing in are doing. Because remember, you are putting your hard-earned money into these companies. You have to know what they are doing with your money, right? Are they using your money well? It doesn't matter if you've invested only 1 Cedi or 1,000 Cedis or 5 billion Ghana Cedis into a company. We are all investors. We are all shareholders of that particular company. We are part owners of that particular company. So we have the right to know what the companies are using that money for. So I would always advise that you actually know what the companies are using that money for. So put in that research. If you don't have time, there's always alternatives to equity investing, like mutual funds, where you don't necessarily need to do a lot of research because there's a fund manager doing that research on your behalf, and he says, this is the structure of the way he's going to invest. So you just bring the money and he will invest on your behalf. I think this was very interesting for me because I was just going through the archives and I realized that we've been on a bullish run for a while now, the Ghana stock market. You can see since 2023 up to the composite index up 28%, 2024 56%, and August 2025 we are also up 49%. So the last time we had a bearish market was like in 2022. You understand? So like the Ghana stock market has been rising and rising and rising. And Charlie, sometimes if you do overdo one, definitely some crashes big of it happen. Yeah. So I think this just prompted me to how bullish of a market we are in. And sometimes during this bullish market, we tend to overprice a lot of things because there's a lot of liquidity in the system, a lot of money in the system. So people, especially the institutional investors, are pumping in a lot of money into this market. And even when it comes to the retailer side, I think there are way more retail investors, which is very good because I think way back in school, when I was in SHS University, you hardly see a lot of individual retail investors on the market. So it's good that the market is expanding, but sometimes we should be cautious as to what we are investing in and just try and assess our portfolios to see if we are actually invested in the right things. Now finally, I'm going to end off showing you guys some of the licensed daily members and how much each of them own in terms of the market share in Ghana. I think this I got a question like this the last time. It's been a while, but then someone asked me the brokers I use. So looking at the licensed daily members, we have IC Securities. They are the biggest when it comes to the equity side in Ghana. They control 73% of the market share when it comes to volume, and in terms of value, 66%. Followed by Data Bank. That's by SIC, Charlie. That'd be like some monopolistic something that they do for you. Data Bank, SBC, all of these, you can go through them. If they are listed here, then they are most likely licensed brokers you can use. So you can go through a lot of them. The two I do use is IC Securities and SIC Brokerage. So that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about my thought process on how bullish of a market we have and what you guys are actually doing in such a market. Comment down below, like the video, subscribe. Charlie, subscribe, I beg. I'll really appreciate it. Until we meet again, have a wonderful and blessed rest of your week. Peace.